While there is plenty of happiness that India are doing very, very well in the Asian Games of 2022 in Hangzhou, 19 gold medals, 82 medals overall, we are going to touch 100 medals. There is unfortunately some bad news when you have to look at badminton. Badminton is one discipline where we were expected to win plenty of medals this time around, but it looks like that will not happen because even in the singles encounter today, we saw PV Sindhu crash out to He Bingjiao in the quarterfinals. It was a straight games loss to the world number 5 He Bingjiao, and PV Sindhu's poor form continues throughout the year. Remember, ever since she suffered that stress fracture on her foot last year, when she made a comeback in January, she has really struggled for momentum, and that is the reason why the continued prolonged loss of form has meant that PV Sindhu once again struggled in the quarterfinals, this time against He Bingjiao, and that is why two straight games she lost. And because of that quarterfinal exit, she is out of medal contention also. So it is a really sad situation when you have to look at Sindhu, multiple time Olympic medal winner, multiple time Commonwealth and Asian Games winner. So this current loss of form is really worrying. And we all wondered in the BWF 1000 events, 750 events, 500 events, every single time PV Sindhu would come up, she would at least lose either before the knockout stages or fail to go past the semi-finals as well. If she had reached the final, like how it happened in the Madrid Open, she would actually lose in a very big way. Just ask Gabriela Mariska Tunjung, whom she lost 8-21, 8-21 in just 29 minutes in Madrid in the final. Now, the main question that I'm debating here is, will the Asian Games exit be bad news for PV Sindhu when it comes to the qualification for the Paris Olympics? Because remember, this time around, there is a separate BWF qualification cycle at this point of time when you have to look at all the other events. So from the Sudirman Cup all the way up to April 2024, how many ever points that you accumulate and what is the ranking that you finish in, that is going to be very important. Now, the top 16 in the singles, men's and women's, top 8 in the doubles, men's and women's, they will get the qualification criteria for Paris at this point in time. Now, PV Sindhu is just on the edge of it because she's ranked number 15 in the world at this point. If she continues to suffer a loss of form, she may not be able to qualify for Paris, because when the latest rankings are updated, if PV Sindhu falls out of the top 15 and if she's 17th or 18th, her chances for direct qualification to Paris will be impacted in a big way. This loss to He Bingjiao, remember, there are also continental events that are at stake also. Pan American Games, Asian Games, African Games, all those events, that is also counted in the qualification cycle as well. Now, if PV Sindhu does not finish by the in the top 16 by the end of April 2024, then India are in serious trouble of losing their multiple time medal winner. Because remember, Sindhu was one of the key factors behind India's surge in badminton. 2016 silver medalist, 2021 Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist. She's done tremendous service for India at this point in time. Now, we are not suggesting that this is the end of the road for Sindhu. Remember, she's ranked 15 at this point in time. The rankings have not yet been updated. After the Asian Games, there will be an updation in the rankings. So as I had mentioned, top 16, men's and women's, they will get the automatic qualification for Paris because there are a total of 36 slots. Top 8 in the men's or women's doubles, they will get the automatic qualification criteria. At this point, only Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty are guaranteed to qualify for the Paris Olympics. But Sindhu is just on the edge. She's ranked number 15 in the world at this point in time. And today, she lost to to He Bingzhou in the quarterfinal. And that is why it's going to be a very, very risky situation at this point. This quarterfinal exit in the Asian Games is definitely not going to help any bit whatsoever. When the latest rankings are updated, and remember, this tournament you've seen Sindhu not do well in the Thomas and Uber Cup as well. In the Uber Cup, she crashed out pretty early. Then you've seen in all the other Malaysia Open, Indonesia Open, and all the other BWF tournaments, Sindhu has endured a very torrid run. That stress fracture on the foot really came at a wrong time for PV Sindhu. She was doing so well until then. She had to miss the World Championships because it has been a really bad situation for her. She missed the World Championships. After January 2023, the slump has been really going on, and it's been 10 months ever since she's had that slump. There's been change of coaches, there's been change of personnel, but nothing seems to be working for PV Sindhu at this point. And a lot of our family members are saying Lakshya, HS Prannoy and Chirag Sathwik, main contenders in Olympics for badminton. Kamal Krishna, I mean, how times change, isn't it? At one point, from 16 to 22, we were all saying, oh, we are guaranteed a medal because PV Sindhu is there. The men were no longer in the fray. Now the men are in the fray. PV Sindhu has slid down dramatically. What are the reasons for her downfall? I just don't know at this point. She's done everything. I mean, see, we are once again, let us make it very, very clear. Sindhu is not eliminated in the race. She's now 15th and she still has time. November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 more months to ensure that she stays in the top 16. But if she doesn't stay in the top 16, then there is big trouble for PV Sindhu, as she may not be able to make the ticket to Paris Olympics 2024. But this poor form is now worrying. Very worrying to say the least now, because you don't want India's ace badminton player to suffer any kind of a prolonged slump, because it could impact her confidence as well. So Lakshya, HS Prannoy, Chirag, absolutely Kamal, Rahul DM, Sindhu is just not there. Very surprising. I don't know what's happened with PV Sindhu. I mean, that injury, whether it's loss of form, loss of rhythm, loss of momentum, could be all the three. But yes, she really, PV Sindhu is looking under pressure. If that is the case, Prathamesh, very, very surprising, because she's a veteran. She's achieved so many achievements, 2 medals in the Olympics, medals in Commonwealth, medals in Asian. She's achieved everything that she needs to be. So it's very surprising as to why Sindhu has just not been able to do. Kamal Krishnadas is saying even if she will participate but not informed to win any medal in Olympics. I hope that changes. I hope that changes, Kamal Krishnadas, because remember, if she wins a medal, it will only bring more glory to India. We had expected badminton to do well, but unfortunately, the silver in the men's team event, the women's team also crashed out. Now, if you look at it, you just have perhaps only Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty in the men's, along with HS Prannoy, who are medal contenders in the Asian Games at this point. Lakshya Sen, we hope that he can do it. Kidambi, that is another very worrying sign. How did Kidambi Srikanth also suffer a form after all his brilliance in the Thomas Cup? Really surprising indeed. So, one more individual saying it's okay. She's a woman of big events. She may not perform well in Asian Games, but she always does it at the biggest stage. I tend to agree, but remember, Asian Games also, we know that the likes of Tai Tzu Ying, He Bingzhou, Chen Yufei, all the others, they are the dominant powers. But Sindhu has beaten them in the past. Tai Tzu Ying is a different prospect altogether. Left-hander, she's always had the better of Sindhu every single time. But otherwise, it's a very good. Sindhu has always done well in big events. There's also a big event in the Asian Games. So that is the current situation. That's how the current situation is. Very worrying for PV Sindhu that she suffered a quarterfinal exit, but she's somehow still there. She's ranked number 15 in the world at this point. Qualification for the Paris Olympics will end on April 2024, but this Asian Games exit in the quarterfinal stage will not help her ranking, because she will not accumulate enough BWF points to ensure that she stays in the top 16. We hope that when the rankings are updated, she doesn't slip out of the top 16 at this point. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.